Everybody, Sean Hatzel here with Get Lean in 12, and inside this video I'm going to talk about what bananas and peanut butter do to your body. So are they weight loss friendly? Do they make you gain weight? Can they help you lose weight? When should you eat them? How should you eat them? What should you eat them with? These are all the questions that I promise you I'm going to answer inside this video, so that by the time that you're done watching this, you know exactly how to add peanut butter and bananas to your diet to help you quickly lose more belly fat. So up here on the whiteboard, you'll see I have a column of pros and a column of cons for both bananas and peanut butter. So we'll talk about the pros and cons, and I'll also talk about the best timing, when should you eat these foods, and the best solutions, how to combine them with other foods to keep the body in a fat-burning environment, when to avoid them, things like this. Now, somewhere around this video, you're also going to see a link to click or tap, where you can learn all about an innovative system I've created called the Over 40 Absolution. And inside this innovative system, you're going to learn about a 12-minute protocol that you can use to quickly reactivate declining hormones. So if you're over 35 years old, you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, pay close attention to this video about bananas and peanut butter, and pay close attention to what I'm going to share about our Over 40 Absolution system that can help you quickly lose belly fat in only 12 short minutes per day, and is specifically designed to work in conjunction with the information I'm going to share here on the whiteboard. Now, if you're watching this, you're not familiar with me, you don't know who I am, I'm a 46-year-old stubborn fat expert, and I'm also a grandpa to 4 beautiful grandkids. We have a 5th one on the way. And my wife Karen is actually 11 years older than me, and her and I, over the last 5 years, have been fortunate to reach over 100,000 people with our Over 40 Absolution and our online community called Get Lean in 12. And when you visit our website at the link around this video, you're going to learn about her story. Over 10 years ago, when we first met, she was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and this forced her into early menopause, and she accumulated a ton of upper belly fat. We actually ended up nicknaming it her menopause belly. And so when you click the link around this video and you go learn about our Over 40 Absolution system, you're going to read about her amazing story. You're going to see her after picture and how she used this 12-minute metabolic protocol to get rid of her menopause belly. But first, don't click that. Drop a comment, let us know where you're from, say hello, and let's talk about what's on the whiteboard here. So first up is bananas. What are the pros of bananas? Well, most people know that bananas have a lot of potassium. So a medium-sized banana has about 422 milligrams of potassium. Bananas are also loaded with antioxidants. Now, antioxidants are responsible for fighting the free radicals that have been linked to many of today's modern health challenges and accelerated aging inside our bodies. Also, it's very high in a special type of starch called resistant starch. And before I talk about why that's so unique, over here you see I have green equals starch and ripe equals sugar. So as a banana ripens, its sugar content increases. So that's going to determine when and how you're going to eat the banana, whether or not it's green or whether or not it's ripe. And green bananas are loaded with a special starch, like I said, called resistant starch. It's one of the only starches that doesn't spike insulin. Remember, when insulin is elevated, it's a storage hormone. It makes it nearly impossible for the body to access fat as a fuel source. So by eating resistant starch found in green bananas, it's amazing for insulin sensitivity and blood sugar. It also feeds the gut healthy bacteria. And this is especially important because 80% of our immune system lies in our digestive health. It's also very weight loss friendly. Research shows people who eat more resistant starch lose more weight than those who don't. Now let's talk about the cons of bananas. Remember, I said if they're ripe, they're higher in sugar. So a ripe one can be higher in sugar, which can increase insulin and potentially take the body out of a fat loss environment. And it's also something diabetics should be conscious of. Now, there is a pretty simple solution to this. It's simply consume ripe bananas that have a lot of sugar in them with a protein source, like in a protein shake, or maybe having a side of full-fat cottage cheese or non-flavored Greek yogurt if you can tolerate dairy. And this will help balance out the insulin levels. Now, the best time is to consume them after the 12-minute protocol that you'll find inside our Over 40 Absolution system, because that sugar will not be stored as fat. You see, after you complete our 12-minute metabolic protocols, the muscles are kind of like a sponge that's been wrung dry, and they're very active, and they want to reabsorb the nutrients that you depleted. So all the energy that's inside your muscles and your liver tissue is called glycogen. The 12-minute protocols found inside the over 40 app solution deplete that glycogen rapidly. So now in the post-workout window, a ripe banana and the sugar found in that banana is just going to be used to replenish glycogen in muscle and liver tissue, and it won't be spilling over and being stored as fat on the body. The other thing is to eat them when they're green. So you don't even have to worry about combining them with anything when they're green because of the resistant starch. So it's actually a very fat loss friendly food if you like green bananas. I'm a fan of a ripe banana that's sweet, but there's a lot of people out there who love green bananas as well. Now, we're about halfway through this video. I think I've provided some pretty amazing content, but I want to make sure I still have your attention. So, if you learned something new, the first half of this video, can you please type yes in the chat box? And if you know somebody who could benefit from this information or who loves bananas and peanut butter, tag them in this video. Now let's continue with a little bit about peanut butter. And first of all, the pros, peanut butter is very heart healthy. So, people who eat more peanuts have a lower risk of heart attack. And then it's also very good for insulin sensitivity, which obviously helps you utilize carbs more as an energy source and prevents them from spilling over and potentially being stored as fat. The main reason that they're heart healthy and they're good for insulin sensitivity is because of the healthy dose of monosaturated fats. And that's also why they can help you reduce hunger. Now, you just have to be careful because it's a fat source, and I'll talk more about that in the cons and the solutions. But the most interesting aspect of peanut butter that I discovered when I was prepping for this video is that they're loaded with resveratrol. Now, resveratrol that's found in red wine and grape skins has been shown in a lot of published research to help the body use fat as a fuel source more efficiently. So good stuff. Now, let's talk about the cons of peanut butter. First of all, a lot of the over-the-counter brands contain trace amounts of trans fats in the form of hydrogenated oils. And some, not all, but this is particularly something you want to pay attention to. Pay close attention to the labels because trans fats are linked to visceral fat and visceral belly fat. This is fat around the organs that's been linked to many of today's modern health challenges. And then most of these, not all again, that have this trace amount of trans fats also contain a very addictive combination of foods from sugar, salt, and fat. Now, when these three foods are eaten together at the same time, it targets the same pleasure center of the brain as cocaine. So remember, eating the sugar, salt, and fat can actually be addictive over time because it makes the brain release more dopamine. Now, the other thing is like I was talking about how it reduces hunger, is you have to be careful because peanut butter is a friendly fat. It yields 9 calories per gram versus 4 calories per gram for proteins and carbohydrates. So you have to be very conscious of your portion control. So that ties into the solutions and the best timing. So the solution to the trans fat and sugar, salt, and fat dilemma is simply buy raw, organic, or sugar-free. And here I have a raw almond butter, and then I even have a raw cashew butter that is from our local farmer's market. It's almost gone because it's delicious. So anyway, you could also buy raw peanut butter as well. And then also make sure that you're watching your portion sizes. So a tablespoon or two, not a half a jar. My wife would be laughing if she was watching this video because that's her struggle with friendly fats and nut butters, is that she tends to eat too much of it. Instead of having a tablespoon or two, she finds herself wanting to eat about a third or a half of the jar. Now you're getting way too many calories from fats in your diet. The best time to eat peanut butter, in my opinion, is the first and the last meal of the day. And the reason why is goes back to the pros. It reduces hunger. So by eating it in the morning, and I recommend consuming it with a complete protein. Most people think that peanut butter is a great protein source. It's really not that great of a protein. It's more of a friendly fat than it is a protein source. Does have some peanut butter in it, but when you eat it, I recommend you eat it in a protein shake, or you combine it with some other type of protein if you can tolerate dairy, full-fat cottage cheese, or non-flavored Greek yogurt. Also at night, because it helps curb cravings, it can also reduce the appetite and potentially help you stay away from sweet and salty treats late at night. Again, just watch your portion sizes carefully. So, if you've learned something, make sure you give me some hearts. Make sure you give me some likes on this. If you have questions, post them in the comments below. Our team will be more than happy to address them. And before I sign off, and before you click or tap the link somewhere around this video to go learn about our over 40 app solution system, I want to talk about the guides that you'll see when you click over. See, After you learn about this 12-minute protocol and the diet tips that we're going to share with you at our website and my wife's amazing story, you're going to see several guides. And what I want you to do is I want you to focus on one guide in particular today, and that's called the Success Tracker. Because the main guide is about 100 pages or longer, and it can be a little overwhelming. So focus on the Success Tracker because it's only 14 pages. It gives you the exact 12-minute workout protocols to follow, the exact movement patterns, the exact rest periods, the exact intensity levels, and it even provides a nutrition plan for each day of the week where we position foods like bananas after the workouts so that you can eat a lot of your favorite carbs and not store them as fat. Now, I also want to share with you that for everybody who grabs a copy of the Over 40 Absolution System, we will donate clean water to a needy child for 90 days. And last year, we donated almost $30,000 with our partnership with Living Water International to help install 4 water wells across the globe in Getlean and 12's name, just from people like you who took action and grabbed a copy. And this is a life-changing mission that we're very passionate about. My business partner Ryan and I actually have went down to Nicaragua for 3 years in a row now to be involved in these communities and actually help install the well. So this is something that's very near and dear to our heart because we witnessed firsthand people that are dying in these villages from the contaminated water. And with your help today, grabbing a copy of our system, you can help us with this amazing cause, and you have no risk. There is a 90-day money-back guarantee, so no questions asked. If you don't see amazing results and this doesn't change your life in ways you never imagined, we'll simply give you your money back. Now, there's one more promise I want to make before I sign off, and hopefully you can give me some more hearts and likes, and that is this. If you focus just 5% of your time every week on little strategies like I shared with you in this video and the 12-minute protocols found inside of our system, it leaks over into every area of your life in a positive way. And it only requires about 12 minutes a day and just focusing a little bit of time and effort to eat healthy. And my wife Karen and I both know that when we do this, we're better spouses to each other, we're happier, we're more fulfilled, we're better parents and leaders and mentors to our kids, we're better grandparents to our grandchildren. We just find that every other area of our life gets better, all because we invested 5% of our time in eating healthy and engaging in the 12-minute protocols found inside the Over 40 Absolution System at the link somewhere around this video. So time is our most precious commodity, and I always respect and appreciate people who take time out of their busy day to watch my videos. So if you're watching this, thank you, have a great day, and keep going strong.